Good morning, party people. We're going to do this morning's, intro, prelude, monologue. A little different today. Had a great time yesterday. Hung out with Steve and his nice 850. Dash said about 98,000 miles. The reader said about 118,000 miles. That's normal. I don't believe any Volvo 850 cluster on the mileage. Unless, of course, I've corrected it according to the mileage that I read from one of my tools. So, great day yesterday. Manny came by, spent about an hour with Steve and I while we were wrapping up things, working on the car. Beautiful 850R sedan. Got that thing lowered a little bit. Got some Bilsteins on the back, IPD sway bars, rib kits. Man, that thing is nice. That was fine. You New Yorkers, man, I don't get it, I feel like I must be preaching to the choir. Get your parts, get your parts, get your parts, get your parts. Nobody's got parts. Fortunate for these New Yorkers, there are a lot of them. So, I go meet one guy. He got his parts in. I help him. Then the next guy parts come in. I got some parts in last night to finish off this 850 NA manual. Got those parts in. Then tomorrow, the next guy will get his parts in, so I'm just going tic-tac, getting parts. Some of these parts I'm ordering myself. I'm kind of wondering if I'm getting mail at an address on a normal basis, does that make me a resident? I may be becoming a resident of the great state of New York. Don't know. Got to check into that. Ask my accountant, So, I have decided to follow the CDC. I will no longer be doing meet and greet COVID testing. So if I come by your place and we're going to do some work or have a meet and greet, I'm no longer testing you for COVID. If you have not got your test results, don't worry. I'm going to donate those test results to the fossil fuel industry. We'll just burn them up. It doesn't matter. The pandemic, I think, is subsiding. So we'll be good on that now. I mentioned yesterday, if you got laptops, kids need them to do their schooling. I said 60 days. I probably should have said 6 months. So if you haven't used something in your house for 6 months, it's probably trash. I mean, it could be donated. You don't really need it, We had a rule in my house at one time that if we run across something that we haven't seen or used in a year, we pitch it. That was our anti-pack rat rule. One day I walked in the back door, walking into the den. I seen the light hit the big screen TV just right. Seen all this dust on it. I said, hey, Diane, can you dust off this TV, man? This thing has got a lot of dust on it. So she tossed me a microfiber cloth. She said, dust it off yourself. So as I was dusting it off, she said, that TV probably hadn't been on a year and a half. So we had a Super Bowl get together at our house. That was the last time the thing had been on. It's been like 16 months. I said, you're right. Let's figure out who we want to give it to. So we don't want to throw it in the trash and give it to somebody that can use it. So we got a friend that adopted some twins. This is several years ago. I called him up. I said, hey, can you give me a hand? I need some help moving a TV. He's like, okay, sure, I'll come over. I said, bring your truck. So he brought his truck. We loaded it up on his truck. I got the manual, the remote, and all that stuff. I handed it to him, and he said, where you want me to deliver it to? I said, I don't care. I'm not using it. Deliver it wherever you want. He about knocked me down getting in the house. Run there and asked Diane. He said, Robert said I could have this TV. Is this straight? And she said, yeah, we don't use it. Do what you want with it. It's yours to do what you want with it. So he took it home. He adopted some twins. They had a blast with that thing. So, anyway, if you have a laptop you haven't used 6 months, donate that thing to the schools, man. You just don't need it. All laptops are only worth $100 once they're used. Like Volvos, all used Volvos are only worth $500. So if you got a laptop, donate it. Call it $100 donation, whatever. So last night I had a little educational session I didn't really care to have. I was talking to a family member, and this is going on in Texas, not going on around here that I know of, but there's this pyramid scheme with dog breeding and all this stuff. They were selling all these puppies for $2,500, but they got this weird method of artificially inseminating these dogs. I thought it was kind of disgusting. Have you ever had one of those moments where you were actually praying that the battery on your phone died? It's like, God, where are you? I need this phone to die. And it just went on way too long. But unfortunately, the battery on their phone died, which was good for me. I was off the hook. So, but we'll move on from that. I started taking one less teaspoon of sugar in my coffee. So I'm from 6 to 5. Yes, 5 sugars, 1 cream. But I used to be 6. I'm doing better. So if somebody got a little time on their hands, grab you a 5-pound bag of sugar and scoop out 360 teaspoons of sugar. See how much sugar I'm saving. Man, I might be doing good. See if it's, a cup of sugar or 6 cups of sugar, and let me know. I'd like to know how my accomplishment's going. I'm a little too busy to do it myself, so if you got some time on your hands, I'd appreciate that. Now, yesterday, Diane insisted that I finish writing my hit single that we're going to come out with. So we got a hit single coming out. I'm telling you guys, so you guys could be aware that it's coming. And you guys can make me get this thing released. I've worked on this thing before in the past. She said, no, today's the day, finish writing. So I finished writing this hit single. We're going to find some music to put to it. We're going to release it. Of course, it's going to be about broke Volvos. But, hey, we're going to get that thing released. Get it so everybody can enjoy it. So I got one more thing. I want you to comment below if you want me to do a catch-up video. Like right now, I am running about 10 days behind on posting videos. So the video I post today, behind this monologue, of course, is going to be the video that I recorded 10 days ago. So if you want me to make a long, probably hour long video to catch up to what I did yesterday, so that you're seeing videos a day late instead of 10 days late, make a comment below. Other than that, I'll just keep releasing them as I go along, trying to do one a day. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm still in New York. If I told you I was going to pay you a visit, New York, New Jersey, I'm going to do it. We just have to be patient. New York's such a strange place. I'm walking down the street in the morning getting my exercise. People are walking toward me. When they get about 50 yards away, they don their mask. And then they walk by, and I guess they take their mask back off. That's nice, but somebody needs to let them know what the CDC has to say so they don't stress themselves out. So anyway, hope you enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching. Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert. That's me. This video contains things that I tinker with throughout the day. For step-by-step detailed instructions of those tasks, you can click on the links in the comment section below. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. This video also have tips and tricks that I've learned over the years. So, thank you very much for watching. We are putting the dash in. Look at that. Man, that thing looks good. No cracks under it. I got to tuck this little tip in here, and we're going to be flying. We're short 3 bulbs. Check engine, ABS, and one other light. We took some weird light out. I don't know what it was. We took the SRS and we took the service. Couldn't find my bulb jar. Got the dash pad in. Just a slight bit of lifting there, but it's almost perfect. Brakes. Air came out first. Actually, the right rear, you end up pumping about 60 times. This side, you end up pumping about 30 times. The front on the other side about 20 times. Front on that side about 10 times. Brake fluid has been replaced. I think that's all we got for now. We need to clean up my mess, and I need to go head over to New York, see what we can get into in New York. Decided to take a peek at Scott's Park, America's first Christmas tree. Wonder how true that is. And there's Diane, folks, hanging out with Larry Holmes, one of America's greatest boxers of all time.
Eastern Assassin.
The Eastern Assassin. Bam! It's out there now. Left jab. I'm gonna see if I can get a picture here. Boy. Beautiful area. Look at this sight. Little waterfall. Wonder if they're pulling electricity off of this. Friggin' awesome. I'm gonna make a quick video to help you understand the function of an AC compressor. A lot of people are servicing them, they're changing belts on them, they're concerned that the compressor's locked up, it's not locked up. Hopefully this video will help you understand how that thing functions, quick and easy, so that you're not confused. Let's get started. This is an AC compressor. It has the refrigerant lines that screw in the back of it. This is a very tightly sealed system. When the compressor is not running and you hook up test gauges to the system, the pressure will read off the chart high. I don't know, 150, 200 psi. Once the compressor engages the clutch system, it starts to run the compressor. That pressure in the system on your gauges will drop 35 to 45 psi. Now, a lot of people think that the pulley is stuck, not turning, the compressor not working, blah, blah, you know. Okay, here's the deal. Almost every car on the road today that has AC system installed on it, it either has a fan belt or a serpentine belt that is looped around the pulley on the compressor. You see this pulley turning? That thing is turning. Okay, so the pulley is turning every time you start the car. Now the compressor is not engaged in running, but the pulley is turning. If the pulley locks up or gets extremely loose where it's wearing, it could throw the belt. If you start the car and this pulley is not turning, the belt will start burning, it'll start shredding. You probably can't run that car for no more than 15 to 30 seconds before it burns this belt up, because that engine is turning 500 RPMs, 1,000 RPMs. It'll burn that belt up in no time. Also, if this pulley locks up, it'll likely bog down the engine and stop the engine from turning, cause the car to stall. If that happens, you can take the serpentine belt off or the fan belt off, start the car, and the car should run. Then you could try to turn that pulley, see if it turns. If it turns nice, smooth, and quiet like this one, you got another pulley locked up. But anyway, this is the AC pulley. Now, the AC system. If you have a proper charge on the system and you activate the controls inside the car, it will cause this clutch to get sucked in and lock the clutch up and make it match with the pulley, so the clutch and the pulley will start turning. They'll be turning together. So if you look at the front of the compressor and you see this part turning, that is the clutch turning and operating the compressor. Then the AC will get cold in the car. If you don't have enough refrigerant in the system, this will never activate and turn on. You got an electrical connector, you got pressure sensors in the system that lets it know, hey, this compressor should not run if it doesn't have the proper amount of lubrication and refrigerant in it. It won't even kick on. So if the engine is running and you look down and you don't see this front part turning, that doesn't mean the pulley's locked up. That means the pulley's turning, but the clutch is not engaged, which turns the compressor. So that's the difference. You got your pulley turning. When it's engaged, your clutch will turn on the front of it with the pulley. Okay, so you got the clutch engaged, functioning the compressor, then you got the pulley that turns as long as there's a belt on it and the engine's running. Pulley's always turning. When the AC is properly charged and activated, the clutch on the front will engage too. Now, one last thing. Volvos, from 93 all the way up probably to 2012, they have a problem with the clutch system where the space between this clutch and this pulley gets too wide. When I rock back and forth, you can see that little daylight right there. You can measure that space. If that space gets too wide because the shims internally on this clutch gets worn, the space here gets too wide, that little daylight there. When that gets too wide and the compressor gets hot, the magnetic pull that pulls that clutch into the compressor and engage it can't work. So your AC may work the first 5 or 10 minutes that you're driving the car. After that, it quits working. The clutch kicks out when the pressure gets excessive or when you put a high demand on the engine. You're trying to pass a car, you're getting on the freeway, it wants to give you power, it kicks the clutch out of the AC compressor, and then when you lower the engine RPMs, this clutch kicks back in, but if this gap is too wide, it can't pull it back in. So it'll sit there and not engage. Then your car is getting hot, your AC's not working. If your AC works fine when the engine's cold, after 5 or 10 minutes, it quits working, you may have too much space in this little window of light that you see there. That's where we do the zip tie trick. We wedge zip ties in these clutch bands here, and that closes that gap so that it can work properly. There's a way that you could take the clutch out, put the shims back in there, put it back together, but the zip tie trick works 2-3 years at a time. Why spend $600-700 when 8 or 9 cents will do the job just fine? So that's where we're at. Pulley turns all the time with the engine. Clutch only engages when the system's activated and properly charged. Hope that helps. Gregory's been holding out on me.
Yeah,
He's got a Volvo Gold Mine. Look at this thing. I'll give you $12 for it. Nice. And you said you got a 122 in the garage somewhere?
Yeah, stick shift.
Wow. Isn't that something? Gregory doesn't like his shift knob, man. It looks like it's been beefed up a little bit. Looks like a power shifter, but he doesn't like it. So we're going to change that out with this one I sent him a few months back. Here we are, folks. The coin holder, the shifter has been replaced. Everything's good to go. He's a happy camper now. He got rid of the shifter with the cast. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.